Robinhood Snacks is a newsletter that Robinhood sends every Monday, and they only send this one once a week, so I still like to read it to see what they say. So it says, "Hey Snackers, we're only 3 months into 2022, but it already feels like the first quarter has lasted a year, just as COVID seems to be waning in the West. Russia invaded the sovereign nation of Ukraine, launching a war that's taken thousands of lives and driven Europe into one of its darkest times since World War II. Today, we're zooming out and zeroing in on the news and trends that have shaped the market and biz in the past 3 months and helping you prep for what's next." What is next, Robin? Tell us what is next. So, three themes that define the first quarter: the smog of war. Russia's war on Ukraine has rolled markets and mobilized world leaders and businesses. The West has weaponized finance to punish President Putin's onslaught, from sweeping sanctions to yacht seizures. The U.S. stopped buying Russian oil, and major companies like McDonald's and Coke halted business there. Meanwhile, the EU is scrambling to phase out Russian energy by 2027. Reduced supply from Russia has caused prices of oil, gas, wheat, nickel, and other commodities to skyrocket. Oil fuels the global economy, from manufacturing to farming to shipping. High energy prices will likely mean slow economic growth and could even trigger a U.S. recession. And these gas prices, they're not fun, you guys. If you live in LA, you're paying over $6 a gallon. It's crazy. It's crazy, honestly. I'm so glad I drive a Prius. And it says, Inflation nation intensifies, so does pump anxiety. U.S. inflation reached a new 40-year high last month, with consumer prices up 8% from a year ago. A gallon of gas is hitting $7 in some states after 2 years of zero interest rates. The stimulus party is over. The Fed started raising rates this month to cool prices, though only by half of what was expected. Despite all the war-driven uncertainty, Fed Chair Powell emphasized plans for more rate hikes. Now the U.S. is in boomflation. Inflation paired with strong growth and a nearly recovered labor market, but an econ nightmare scenario. We could get stagflation. High inflation plus sluggish growth, you guys. This is so scary, you guys. Everything is going up. I remember when tacos used to cost $1, now they cost $2. That's crazy. So, the big bearish market. Your portfolio might be feeling it. Stocks kicked off the new year at records after the market tracking the S&P 500 index gained 27% last year. Fast forward 3 months, major indices are all down so far, and the Tichy Nasdaq is down 10% from its record in November. Giant tech stocks like Amazon and Microsoft are weighing down the whole market as rates and inflation rise. The value of companies' potential future growth is also falling. Stock prices are being corrected. Meanwhile, pandemic drivers like Peloton, Netflix, and Pinterest have plunged as demand snags. And 6 notable numbers. Here you go. 4.5 billion. Value of Bitcoin alleged to have been stolen by financial rapper and her husband in the biggest cryptocurrency theft. Netflix next scammer show. Cybercrime is on the rise, and US crypto regulation is in the works. Damn, people, I need to learn how to hack, because everyone seems to be hacking and making money by doing this. And I wonder, I'm not saying I'm going to do it, but somebody out there, people are becoming smart and they're learning how to do it, right? But 250 billion, how much Meta lost in one day after reporting its first dip in daily active users. Facebook profit puppy AdBiz also took a hit from Apple's privacy changes, while TikTok is swiping up users. That's a lot of money to have lost. That really sucks for Facebook. And I don't know, I have Facebook, but I feel like a lot of people don't use it anymore. Like, I think it's all Instagram and TikTok. And that sucks for Facebook. 1.4 million, the highest recorded number of new U.S. COVID cases in a single day, January 10th. National cases have fallen and all statewide mask mandates have been lifted, but reported cases are still rising in about 10 states. And I'm so happy, you guys. I was so over COVID, I could not handle it. 3.2 billion, the value of Kim Kardashian's Kim's shapewear line, which doubled over the past year and was boosted by a major cash injection. Celebpreneur brands like Rihanna Savage, X, Fenty, lingerie, and makeup biz have thrived. Man, I guess that's where all the money people are spending is going to. 18%, the percentage of China's 1.4 population using DigiYuan wallets. China is among 87 countries creating state-controlled digital currencies, though it currently bans unregulated coins like Bitcoin. And sometimes I don't understand this. Like, does this defeat the purpose of Bitcoin? Like, because people created Bitcoin to move away from the dollar, and now we're letting the government create the next one. I don't understand it, but that's what seems like what's going on, right? So, $65 million, how much Ukraine has raised in crypto donations so far. It was one of the many uncontroversial ways, along with no-show Airbnbs and Etsy donations, that people supported global efforts. And 3 trends that have surfaced. The IPO palooza is over, and so are SPACs. IPO slowed to a trickle this quarter. There was a 25-day span without a single one. That's a stark contrast to last year's, when over 1,000 companies raised a record $268 billion. Part of the reason private giants like Stripe are holding off. 70% of last year's IPOs ended up trading below their offering prices. Even Rivian, the first to market EV truck maker with last year's biggest debut, has slipped 50% since IPOing. Instacart and others have canceled planned IPOs, and the rest of the year is expected to be slow. Yeah. Ready Player Everyone. U.S. consumers spent $60 billion in video games last year, twice as much as they spent on streaming movies and TVs. Come on, you guys. Video games are fun. Of course they did. I'm spending money on video games every single week. Gaming deals have hit a new high score. This quarter, Grand Theft Auto maker Take-Two revealed plans to buy farm bureau maker Zynga for $12.7 billion in the biggest gaming deal of all time, until Microsoft beat that a week later with a $70 billion bid to buy Call of Duty maker Activision. Now gaming's entering a new phase, the metaverse. Tech giants Meta and Nvidia are spending billions on building the metaverse, and gaming platforms like Roblox could be a crucial snagging for early Meta users. And I'm really excited for this, you guys. I swear, if we can get anything like the movie Ready Player One, I would love that. If we could all be in a digital world, that would be so fun and amazing. It would be like playing a video game in real life. Like, I mean, I don't know how that would affect us psychologically. Like, it'd be weird. Like, everyone's in the digital world. But then, would it be the multiverse? Like, people living in the real world and people living in the metaverse. That's interesting. Modernization mayhem. Tech has been in the moderation hot seat. From the usual suspects, Meta, Twitter, to Spotify and TikTok, Joe Rogan created a Spotification when medical experts and Neil Young called out COVID misinformation on his Spotify exclusive pod. Rogan's history of using racial slurs also surfaced. Spotify stood by its biggest podcaster, but made its moderation policies public for the first time. Others, like TikTok and Twitter, have had to deal with multiplying misinformation about Russia's war in Ukraine, and Meta allowed users to call for violence against Russia invaders. Finally, what are other big stories? Testing. The U.S. lagged behind other countries in making COVID tests available during Omicron spread, but profits boomed for self-test makers like Abbott, test sellers like Walgreens, and test processors like LabCorp. Web3, the buzzword of 2022. Blockchain buffs are bullish on Web3, a decentralized user-owned internet that could replace Web 1. Think info sites like AOL, and Web 2 like social media like Facebook. And Web 3 is exciting, you guys. I really hope I get to see it. So many possibilities when you think about it. It's scary, but I mean, it sounds like we're going there. And succession. U.S. employment is nearly back to pre-pandemic levels, but women's jobs are returning more slowly than men's, partly because of unequal child care duties and high burnout rates. Blood. For 4 years after Theranos founder Elizabeth Holmes was charged with fraud over her blood testing tech, the jury is in. She's likely facing 9 to 18 years in prison, but the conviction hasn't dented biotech funding. And that was it, you guys. Robinhood. This is so cool. I always like how they do different stories than other newsletters, because I hate reading the same thing. So it's really cool that Robinhood is a little bit different. But if you enjoyed me reading the news to you guys, I like to do this every single day so that I don't read it on my own. So if you want to come back to hear me read more news to you, make sure to hit the subscribe button and also hit the like button if you enjoyed this video.